So the Bucs offense needs a couple of tweaks, notes ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck.
Who's the tight end more? Cameron Brate's been a good player, somebody that Brady's comfortable with. And then run the football, which is, really the thing that they tried to, establish in New Orleans a week ago to get, Fournette going. And when they do that, it creates opportunities in the play action game, which is probably where their opportunities will have to end up coming.
Tim Hasselbeck. Possible history tonight in the Big Apple. Yankees star Aaron Judge with the chance to tie Roger Maris's American League single-season home run record of 61 against the Pirates, 7:05 Eastern on ESPN+.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We are actually having a little bit of a change up right now. We got schedules a little crossways. Former Carolina Panther running back Jonathan Stewart was supposed to be with us next hour. We're actually going to change it up and do it right now.
Who did say gonna beat them Saints? Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind.
A few better to talk to than a guy who spent 11 years in the NFL, a former Panther running back, a guy Saints fans would know well, and that's former Panther running back Jonathan Stewart, now part of Believe Sports Network. Hey, man, how are you? Thanks for the time today.
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for the shout-out. Now part of Believe Network. You guys can catch me on Believe in Panthers with Desmond Johnson and Skylar Callahan. I'm a co-host now talking about the Panthers. So, thanks for having me on to talk about this week's matchup.
Man, it's our pleasure. How's that transition gone for you, man, moving into the media world?
It's good, man. It took a while for me to get adjusted to life after football. Not adjusted to life after football, but more so when you retire, you just want some time away, right?
Sure.
And so becoming a fan is important. I think if you jump right into the things of the other side of football, on the post-career side, it can kind of get a little, timid, not timid, but tense in a sense of as far as your thoughts, sharing your thoughts about, your teams and whatnot. There might be some crosshairs as far as your thought process when it comes to talking about your team. I think nowadays I'm definitely a fan of the Carolina Panthers, and I feel good about talking about them. So it's been fun.
I want to get into the matchup specifically in a second that we're going to see on Sunday, but I'd love to know for you, man, as a guy who spent 10 years with the Carolina Panthers, what does the Saints game mean to the Panthers there internally in Charlotte?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, the rivalry, you look at the history of what a lot of games meant for, the Panthers when we played, the Saints, playoff, contention, just a lot of things on the line, especially during the certain times of the year where, a loss means the world for, the playoff potential. There's a lot of, definitely bad blood in the sense of, the shots that are taken on defense from either side and, just wanting to really put your best foot on the table and and making a statement within the division. And this being the Panthers' first game going into the year for their division, it's an important one, especially coming off of 0-2 start. This is very important.
Yeah. So, look, the obvious question, Jonathan, is that everyone's going to ask, of course, is Baker with the way that that everything went down in this offseason. It's been a little up or down, man. I mean, week 1 against Cleveland was certainly there for the taking, and then last week on the road against New York had to be disappointing. What's been your impression? Just I'll leave this is very obvious first. What's been your impression of Baker running that offense so far?
My impression of him is he's obviously he is an upgrade, I think, but more so from the standpoint of his leadership, his personality. You can tell he has the it factor to want to win games. You can see that he's willing to take chances. He's willing to, do things to go beyond, the things that are required to make a play. I think right now he's just getting adjusted. You have an offensive line that you haven't really been behind for some time, and you have receivers that you didn't really get too many reps with as far as, being the starting quarterback with the whole contention through training camp. So I think, this week is definitely going to be something for us to all look at. It's week 3, time's ticking, from a standpoint from the fans' perspective, and we want to see them feel comfortable in the pocket. And I think guys just need to take, more responsibility for their, what they're putting on tape and what they're putting on the field, and make it personal. Don't let your quarterback feel uncomfortable in the pocket. And I think the offensive coordinator just needs to do a good job of understanding what's going on in the game and understanding the flow for his quarterback.
Jonathan Stewart's with us, former Panthers running back, now part of Believe Network, covering the Carolina Panthers. I want to ask you about a position, of course, well. It's the running back spot. Christian McCaffrey's back, but in the last 2 seasons, a combined 10 games, 3 in 2020 and just 7 games a year ago. Give me your impression of a guy whenever you miss that much time, what it's like for Christian McCaffrey right now trying to get back into the swing of things.
I don't think there's a question that he's getting back into anything. I think he is who he's always been, if not better. I think his mental preparation, has probably exceeded everyone's expectations. I've missed plenty of games throughout my career, and your mindset only gets stronger because it has to be. When you're overcoming injuries, when you're overcoming adversity to get back on the field, you do come back stronger. And I think last week, given the fact that his number was called way more than it was the first week, we saw what he can do. We saw the long runs. We saw the catches out of the backfield and the ability to make guys miss in open field. And so I expect nothing, less. And at the end of the day, I won't be shocked ever because that's kind of who I expect him to be. Is he's a once in a generational type of talent, and I think the world of this guy, and I think everyone does too. And I just think everyone just wants the best for him and for this team. So.
That's great perspective. Of course, you had a stretch like that, a 2-year stretch in your career in 2012, 2013, where you missed a chunk of time and then came back very strong in 2014. A couple more minutes here with Jonathan Stewart previewing Saints, Panthers. I want to flip the field and talk a little bit about that Saints offense. And, Jonathan, when you look at it, Jameis Winston has great arm talent, obviously. Alvin Kamara is likely going to be back. We know about all the receivers that they have with Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry. Now they draft Chris Olave. But it's been misfiring just a little bit. What about the Panthers' defense? If you would, how does the Panthers' defense, how are they equipped to maybe limit what the Saints are able to do offensively on Sunday?
I think Brian Burns is going to be effective in, the pass rush. We have to get after Jameis. If you get in the face and disturb him in the backfield as he's in his drop, for any quarterback, that's hard, right? So we got to make sure that there's a presence on the edge And you see more and more throughout the league, the defensive line putting their hands up at the offense, at the line of scrimmage. That those things deter a quarterback from really making a split decision. You know what I'm saying? It makes them second guess whenever there's balls being batted down at the line of scrimmage. And you see that with Baker Mayfield. And whatever we can do to cause any disruption for Jameis Winston, I think that's key, obviously. But mainly, for me, just stop the running game. Because when things go bad, if you're stopping the running game, you can figure out a way to give your offense the ball more than likely. We've struggled in that department in the time of possession, the last two weeks, and it's been mainly because other teams have been committing to the run and keeping the ball. And I think we got to make sure on defense we get those 3 and outs, and even some turnovers. We haven't had any turnovers. Last week we had an opportunity for an interception. I thought it would have been an easy interception by Luvu. That could have been, a turn of events, and we haven't had any of those that have gone our way. And I think some of those things need to happen for us, and defense creating those would be very helpful to give us more opportunities on offense.
All time this has been a pretty competitive series. The Saints lead it all time 29-26, so it's been a competitive series with these two teams, as you expect divisional games would be. The Saints have won 5 of the last 6, but Carolina did win up in Charlotte a year ago. Jonathan, if I asked you, for Carolina, what is the blueprint on Sunday? If they win the game against the Saints and get their first win of the season, you open up the box score on Monday or after the game, what's going to be the key? What's going to be the thing that stands out?
They just got to do the little things, right? Don't fumble the snap. Don't fumble the ball. Just block. Pick up the blitz. Execute. Know what you're doing before you're going and lining up at the line of scrimmage, and have confidence in that. So a lot of it, man, I would say just, hoping that our team is preparing the right way, understanding situational football, understanding and believing and trusting in the game plan and sticking to it. Don't be hesitant when you're on defense when the ball's in the air. Trust your instincts, trust where you are on the field, and make the play.
You had 20 matchups against the Saints. Any stand out above the rest?
Man, to be honest, they're all a blur. Because it's I can't really tell which year was what, but I know, 14 when we went 7, 6, 9, and 1, and we came from Minnesota, losing to Minnesota in the cold. And we went to the Saints, and we won that game, and that kind of stands out the most because that game was the game that kind of put us on the winning streak going forward into the Super Bowl year. And so I would always say that one. And I broke a long 60-yard run or so in that game too. So it's always nice when you have a long run against a division rival. So.
It's a good memory, man. That was a 41-10 win by Carolina in the Dome that day. Not a great memory for Saints fans, but I can understand why it was for you.
Yeah.
He's Jonathan.
We thrashed you guys.
You're still looking for that Lombardi, though, bro.
Exactly.
He's Jonathan Stewart. Follow him on Twitter, part of Believe Sports, covering the Panthers now. Hey, man, thanks for a couple of minutes. Hopefully we visit again down the line.
Oh, no problem, man. Have a good one.
It's our pleasure. Jonathan Stewart, a couple of minutes here to start the show. Brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You know where to find us. By the way, I've told you this before, but Hudco, we found out last week, became the first certified fortified roofing company in Louisiana. The first ever Louisiana-based, Louisiana-owned, Louisiana-operated fortified roofing company. With a fortified roof, you can save up to 52% on your homeowner's insurance premiums. When you give us a shout at Hudco, ask about fortified roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. And, of course, if you have storm damage or if you're not sure if you might, we'll always give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Louisiana-born, Louisiana-owned, Louisiana-operated by Louisiana people with Louisiana products. It's Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. So that was a little bit of a change. We were expecting Jonathan to start hour 2, but we got time zones crossed ways a little bit, so he was there to start the show. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, Brian Kelly on the SEC teleconference this morning spoke about getting Jack Besh a little more involved in the offense. We're going to explore that when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off MSRP on a new 2021 Ford F-150. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster.
after further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flecker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flecker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
The SEC released the full conference schedule last night, actually right after AFR ended. The release show was on the SEC network. So we did find out LSU's schedule for 2023 and some oddities in it. We told you yesterday we knew already while we were on the air that LSU would open up on Sunday, September the 3rd in Orlando against Florida State. They'll come home against Grambling and then have a September game in Starkville against Mississippi State. Then things kind of get weird. Arkansas comes to Baton Rouge on September the 23rd. That is the earliest LSU and Arkansas will have played in the history of the series, which they've played almost 70 times throughout their history. So then a September 30th trip to Ole Miss, and then October 7th at Missouri. And some have asked, well, why is LSU going to Missouri again? Remember, in the COVID year, because you played 10 conference games, they had to add 2. LSU added Vanderbilt and Missouri. So remember, they played Vanderbilt in 2019, went up there and played, then went back up there in 2020, so consecutive years in Nashville, and then they had the Missouri game added. But this is the regularly scheduled game. So then October the 14th against Auburn at home. Kind of bizarre that Army will come to Baton Rouge October the 21st, which we knew, but smack dab in the middle of October is less than ideal. Then LSU gets their customary bye the last Saturday in October. They'll play Alabama November the 4th in Tuscaloosa. And then Florida comes to Baton Rouge. So that's kind of the big switch, is that Florida has moved to November and Arkansas has moved to September. Everything else is similar on the schedule. After Florida, LSU will host Georgia State and then host Texas A&M. So LSU will finish the season with 3 home games. The trade-off is you're on the road in conference play 3 times in 4 weeks in September and then the first weekend in October. So there's a couple of different ways you could look at this. I mean, you could look at, hey, look, I'd much rather have that layup before the Texas A&M game and finish the season with 3 straight home games, for sure. You could look at how difficult it is to go on the road 3 times in 4 weeks in conference play, but you could look and say, well, 2 of those are Mississippi State and Missouri. And who knows what Ole Miss is going to be, and you get Arkansas at home, and very likely an Arkansas team that'll lose KJ Jefferson a lot offensively, so you'll probably have much more you would expect next year Arkansas probably takes a step back, so maybe September, early October becomes more manageable. That Army game on October the 21st is just brutal because you'll play a home game against Auburn, those 3 road conference games in 4 weeks, then you're home against Auburn, which is always physical, and then you got to play Army before your bye, and Army comes in doing something different with the triple option, as we know, so it's always challenging to prepare for that smack dab in the middle of the season, as Oklahoma learned a couple of years ago when they nearly got upset by Army in Norman. So there's good and bad. You're in the SEC. Nobody's schedule you're ever going to look at it and go, man, what a breeze. It just doesn't happen in the SEC. Everybody's schedule is tough. But some things to like on this schedule, some things to be a little concerned about. But in the meantime, the most important thing, the most important thing is just being a better football team in year 2 under Brian Kelly to be able to manage the schedule. So if you want to check it out, it's published everywhere. LSU put some graphics out so you can see the 2023 schedule and start to plan accordingly. Weddings, births of your children, and all that sort of stuff. Be ready for it. All right, it's after further review. I want to get into what Brian Kelly said about Jack Besh this morning on the SC Coaches Teleconference. Just a second. Let me remind you about Mold Zero. Mold Zero USA. It's mold-0usa.com. Awesome people, a great company. If you are dealing with mold or odors in your office, your home, your place of business, Mold Zero can help. This is a patented dry fog technology that is non-toxic. They're not spraying chemicals all over. It's a patented formula that will kill mold, kill odor, other pathogens as well, and it's non-toxic. Safe for you, for your family, for your pets, for everything. Gets into every nook and cranny. Learn more at mold-0usa.com. They service all of Greater Baton Rouge, all of Greater New Orleans, including the North Shore. So go to the website. You'll see the phone number for Baton Rouge, phone number for New Orleans at the top of the homepage, mold-zero, Z-E-R-O, spell it out, mold-zero, USA.com. I mean, we're talking, really minimally invasive. You really only have to be out of your home or your office for a couple of hours while it dries. That's about the extent of the disruption. And, of course, you're talking no to minimal demolition required. It's an effective method. Mold Zero USA, mold-zero-usa.com, mold-zero-usa.com. All right, it's after further review. Brian Kelly was on the SEC Coaches Teleconference on Wednesday, as he is every Wednesday, and he was asked about a player that many of you ask about often, and that is wide receiver Jack Bech, who we know Jack had the stress fracture in his leg, in his shin. It was initially called shin splints. Later, we found out it was actually stress fracture in his shin, which limited him in camp. He didn't participate much in camp. Most of what we saw during camp was Jack Bech on a stationary bike. Then he had heavy wraps on his lower legs when he started to participate, and he's had a admittedly slow start to this season. Had a nice touchdown catch against Southern, but was little used. He was targeted in the first series on third down against Mississippi State before LSU punted on their opening possession, but that was the only target that Bech had in the game. So Brian Kelly was asked on Wednesday, what's up with Bech? How do you get more involved?
As coaches, and it starts with me, we've got to get him more involved. And you're going to see that that's going to begin to take place this weekend. I just think as a coaching staff, we've got really good players at that position. And we have to do a better job of getting really good players on the field. There's got to be a very intentional rotation. There's got to be competition in practice where guys are competing for playing time, and we've got to reward those guys accordingly. So Jack's doing everything he's been asked of. There shouldn't be any narrative out there that he hasn't or he's injured. We have to do a better job as a coaching staff.
Okay, so he really cleared that up, that the injury that limited him in camp is no more an issue. It's no longer an issue. And they got to get Jack involved. I'll tell you, the challenge is part of what Brian Kelly said there. And again, this isn't impossible to overcome, but it's the challenge. When you have so many good players at those positions, you heard him say, we have to be very intentional with the rotation. You can't just leave guys out there because they're out there. You have to be intentional about rotating guys in to get people reps that have earned it. But here's the challenge, right? If Jack Bech is going to play in the slot and Malik Neighbors is taking that spot, who was the biggest player in the game for LSU in their most pivotal drive last week? It was Malik Neighbors. Came up with 3 catches on third down and the 27-yard reception on 4th and 3 in the fourth quarter. You can take Malik Neighbors off the field. That's the challenge, right? Who do you take off the field? You got Keyshawn Boutte. You got Jeray Jenkins, who's leading you in touchdown receptions. Keyshawn's a preseason All-American. Malik Neighbors is leading you in receptions, receiving yards per catch. Look, I love Jack Bech. Jack sat in the studio plenty of times. I mean, gigantic fan. He's going to be an NFL player. When he committed to LSU, I try to tell y'all, no, that's not just that's not a courtesy offer to a legacy player because you had a spot. I saw the kid play at St. Thomas more. He's different. He's not just your possession receiver like a lot of white receivers get stereotyped. I'm just going to blurt it out and say it. I'm not going to tap dance around it. And we've all seen it. He's awesome. He needs to be on the field. But that's the challenge. Again, it's not impossible, but it's what Brian Kelly said. As coaches, they have to be better and find ways to get all these guys involved. It's the same thing Brian Kelly said after week 1 with Keyshawn Boutte. When Keyshawn, he had targets against Florida State. It wasn't until late in the second half when he got his first catch in the ball game. They targeted him early, didn't go back to him. So what did we see against Southern? First play of the game, they threw it to Keyshawn. They gave it to him on jet sweeps, shovel pass. I mean, they just intentionally called plays specifically to get him the ball. And Brian Kelly said, you're going to see that this weekend. They're going to get Jack Bech the football. I want to remind you, though, a year ago in the opener against UCLA, Bech was on the field, but he had 1 catch against UCLA, only 1 catch. It was the next 2 weeks against McNeese and Central Michigan that you started to see him pop a little bit. 4 for 57 against McNeese, 5 for 81 in his first touchdown against Central Michigan. So when the competition lessened, you saw them push him the ball more. You got back into conference play against Mississippi State, just 2 catches for 13 yards. Then in October is when Jack really hit his stride. 7 catches against Auburn for 84 yards in that ball game in Baton Rouge. And then, of course, Keyshawn got hurt against Kentucky. They ran wild against Florida. And then you saw Jack 4 for 41 against Ole Miss, 5 for 33 and a score against Bama, 4 for 66 and a score against Arkansas, 5 for 46 against ULM. I'm throwing out a bunch of numbers, but you understand the point. Is once you got him comfortable, you got into conference play in October, is really when you saw him hit his stride. And I think the same might be true here. This is a great launching point to get Jack Bech more involved in the offense this year, in this offense with this quarterback. And it's a great timing because next week you go to Auburn. And we've talked about it forever. October will make or break this season. October will determine what, if anything, you are playing for in November. So, yeah, this would be a great opportunity to get Jack Bech involved, get him involved in the offense, have some success, and use that as a springboard into Auburn a week from Saturday. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC. When we come back, we're brought to you by Schutz Electric. I had an email this morning from a listener. His name is Andy. I'm not going to say his last name, but he said, he sent me an email this morning. He said, Matt, what's the name of the installer of the Generac that you purchased? He said, Schmidt or something like that. I heard it yesterday on the show. Not Schmidt, it's Schutz. Schutz Electric. Just remember this. CES of LA.com is in Schutz Electrical Services. Schutz Electric Services. CES of LA.com. CES of LA.com. Or if you can't remember it, just shoot me an email like Andy did or text me, and I'll happily send you the link if you can't remember. But just remember, at Schutz Electric, they're Baton Rouge's premier power expert, and they have their own generator division. These aren't taking people away from other responsibilities to go install a generator. They have an entire division of their business that handles standby generators. So when the power goes out, my home standby generator, my Generac, powers on and powers my entire home. They can do the same for you. I think you will be floored at how affordable a standby generator really is. And financing is available if you need it. Schutz Electric, CES of LA.com. CES of LA.com for Schutz Electric. We'll go around the SEC next.
AFR.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care. It's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
On Tuesday, Brett McMurphy at Action Sports reported that Bedlam is going to come to an end when Oklahoma moves into the SEC. And Mike Gundy, the Oklahoma State. Bedlam is Oklahoma State, for those that don't know. They've played every year since the 1800s. And we learned yesterday that they actually played this series before Oklahoma was even officially a state. But that's going to end on an annual basis when Oklahoma comes into the SEC. And I pointed out that there's plenty of non-conference rivalries that happen every year. Georgia, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Louisville, Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, Florida State, Army, Navy, BYU, Utah. If you want to make it happen, you can. Well, Mike Gundy, after practice at Oklahoma State on Tuesday, had a prepared statement. And anytime Mike Gundy has a prepared statement and talks in front of the media, you should always listen, because you might learn that you're a man and you're 40. Here's what Gundy had to say about Bedlam.
OU's officials were in negotiations with the SEC for months and months before anybody in this league or the conference knew about it. No objections? During those multi-billion-dollar conversations, I wonder if Bedlam was ever brought up at that point instead of the money. Okay? Bedlam is history. We all know that. We've known that. Because OU chose to follow Texas and the money to the SEC. It's okay. Is that a fact? So now, we're having what I think are childish discussions, in my opinion, okay, over something that's done. And I would like to make this the last statement I have, because I have no hard feelings, but what's going on now is almost a situation with a husband and a wife, or a girlfriend and a boyfriend. When you know you're dead wrong and you try to turn the table and make them think they're wrong. When Oklahoma State has no part in this. We didn't have anything to do with their negotiations with the SEC. We didn't have any choice on choosing to leave the conference. They did. So everybody needs to get over it and move on and quit trying to turn the tables. It's somewhat comical that they still want to bring us into this equation. I want somebody here to give me one example of what Oklahoma State had to do with this.
Okay. Oklahoma State had nothing to do with Oklahoma leaving the Big 12. But we went through yesterday the big long list of schools that are playing interconference, non-conference rivalries, basically. I just shared a whole bunch of them with you. One of those I mentioned was Georgia, Georgia Tech. Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
Who did Georgia Tech play last week?
Ole Miss.
Are they in the same conference?
No.
Oh, different conferences.
Yes.
And Georgia Tech's going to play Georgia?
Yeah, at the end of the season.
Got it. So Georgia's going to play Georgia Tech at the end of the season. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last week.
Who did Georgia open up with? Remind me.
Oregon. The Oregon Ducks.
Oh. Are they a Power 5?
Yeah.
Got it. Florida State. They're a Power 5, right?
Of course.
Are they going to play Florida this year?
Yeah.
They are. Got it. Who did Florida State open up with?
LSU.
Well, Florida's going to play Florida State then, obviously. Who did Florida open up with?
Oh, Florida opened up with Utah.
Are they a Power 5?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll be darned. So what you're telling me is that if you want to keep a rivalry game going, you can do it and still play other Power 5 schools if you want to do it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Oh. Weird. Hey, Mike Gundy, shut up, you moron. I ain't buying all your little soft-talking, slow nonsense. You're an idiot. Realignment has nothing to do with you not playing this game. It has everything to do with you being a crybaby ninny. Not just you, but all of Oklahoma State specifically, being crybaby ninnies who are upset that Oklahoma's going to the SEC and your conference is now leveraged. You're vulnerable. I get it. But if you wanted to play that game, you could play that game. And you're not going to. And you're going to be doing a disservice to your fans. But I got news for you, Coach. Oklahoma's going to be just fine. You're the one who's going to be looking maybe in 5 years, 10 years, begging for a game like that. Because your league is going to crap. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Auburn Tigers.
Starting quarterback TJ Finley's out with an injury for Saturday's game against Missouri. That's according to sources at AL.com. CBS cameras did catch Finley favoring his non-throwing shoulder going to the locker room down at half. And he did not return to the loss after a strip sack in the third quarter. Finley won the starting job over Robbie Ashford, Zach Calzada, and freshman Holden Griner. But Finley has just one touchdown and 4 interceptions through 3 games.
The Florida Gators.
Billy Napier acknowledged the current situation at quarterback behind Anthony Richardson has impacted offensive play calling, specifically limiting Richardson's use in the running game because they don't want to get him hurt. Right now, Jalen Kitna, redshirt freshman, is the only scholarship backup. Jack Miller, the Ohio State transfer, is still working his way back to the field after a fracture on his right hand required surgery.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Defensive tackle Jalen Carter remains limited by the ankle injury that forced him out of the starting lineup against South Carolina and led him to playing only 11 snaps this past Saturday. Carter has not been a full go in practice this week, and his status for Saturday's game against Kent State very much up in the air. Carter originally injured the ankle in the season opener against Oregon.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Bama stays hot on the recruiting trail. They got their highest rated wide receiver prospect for this class, Jalen Hale, 4-star from Texas, has committed. 6'1", 185. He's the number 51 overall prospect in the country in the composite. He's the 9th. He's Alabama's 9th top 100 recruit. He's the number 9 receiver in the class. He's the 3rd receiver in the 23-player class for Alabama. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com, celebrating 20 years as the official office equipment provider of LSU Athletics. Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com. All right, little Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro. Get your booze questions in. We'll get them answered next on AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet Dine-In, Carry-Out, or Delivery. Uber Eats, DoorDash. Remember, tonight and every Wednesday at Pluckers is Trivia Night. So get on by Pluckers, 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. Tonight you have Geography Trivia. Get ready. Oh, Muse. We're quizzing you later. Either location, get your team together, test your geography knowledge tonight. Win Pluckers gift cards, Visa gift cards, Amazon gift cards, great prizes from all over the Baton Rouge area. And remember, every team gets to spin the prize wheel. So whether you win or lose, whether you win a round or not, everybody is going to win something just for going out to trivia at Pluckers. That's every Wednesday. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluemont, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine and carry out or delivery, remember, at Pluckers if you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Glad you're with us. Time of by the time of the week. Welcome aboard, Taylor Calandro. Answer all your booze questions. So fire away. Email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat, or text your questions in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Taylor, how are you, dude?
Good. What's up, Matt?
Well, somewhat bad news is that I just refreshed my app, the text app, and I have to go through this whole Q&A process, to re-get to all the stuff. So I may not have questions from the text audience here today, but we'll see. What's new? We'll see. I'll try to do it while you talk, so fire away.
We got a new Hirsch in. If people aren't familiar, Hirsch has relaunched again. It's not the same Hirsch juice from way back when, but it is very good. I tried the first one, the Hirsch Horizon. I thought it was good. That's a fairly reasonably priced bottle, like $40. The second one we just got, it's called Hirsch Bivouac. They got funny names for their stuff. They're trying to rebrand and do a whole bunch of stuff. But it's a 95% blend of Bardstown Bourbon Company bourbon with 5% Willet 8-year. So it's got Willet 8-year bourbon in it. And I tried it last week. It is fantastic. I think it's around $55. So we have that. And we also have E.H. Taylor small batch $46.99 as we speak right now. It was there when I left about 45 minutes ago, and we had a fair amount. So check it out. It will go quickly. It will go very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to create a bum rush there at the store today. I see.
I am. Okay. But I haven't put it on social media or told anybody. This is the first time that I've spoken these words today.
There it is. That's at the Perkins location.
Perkins location. Yes.
Right,
there should be Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch on the shelf, $46.99, everyday low price.
Phenomenal news. Loyal, here, I got my tech stack back up. Loyal Duet is his name. What do you think of New Riff bottled in bond?
I haven't tried. Well, I mean, I don't know if all the New Riffs bottled in bond. I have tried a New Riff, and it was good. It's not available in the state yet, but it was good. And if you find a bottle, I would probably suggest picking it up for sure.
Let's see. Ethan Mott said, my dad's favorite whiskey is Crown Royal. What's a good substitute that would be better than Crown?
So Crown is really sweet, and I don't like to use the word really smooth, and put that in quotation marks. It's very approachable. It's hard to get Crown drinkers off of Crown traditionally, especially older guys. But if you want to try, you should try with maybe a Basil Hayden, and if you can find an upscale Canadian whiskey like a Caribou Crossing or maybe an older Pendleton, something like that.
Caribou Crossing would be a good one. That's about 80 proof. It's in the same bottle as Rock Hill Farms. They're basically trying to market it the same way they would like a Bland's, or it comes in a bag and like the box and the big topper as well. But it's very mild. I mean, have you had Caribou Crossing?
Yes. And most Canadian is fairly mild issue. I mean, you're going to have some spice because a lot of it has rye in it. Yeah. But traditionally, especially Crown is a super mild.
It's very mild. Very mild. Scott Pitaro said, ask Taylor, is the Chicken Cock Island Rooster worth $199 price tag, rye finished in rum barrels?
I still haven't got a chance to try it. I've read reviews. I've heard reviews. They're kind of mixed. It is pricey, so that's a buy at your own risk kind of bottle. But the other chicken cock stuff that I have tried has all been very, very good. I do want to try the Island Rooster at some point. But and we got through a chicken cock question. That was unbelievable.
Hey, with no laughing. There's still time. Scott said, hey, what's the most overrated whiskey or your bourbon out there?
Pappy Van Winkle or Blanton's, and it's not even that's just right now Blanton's. The absolute 100% most overrated bourbon on the planet Earth is Blanton's, followed by Pappy Van Winkle.
But the problem with saying that, which I don't disagree, is it gives off the impression that it's not good, which is false. It's very good. Blanton's is very good, and the Van Winkles are very good. It's just you have such an enormous outsized demand for them, which is the problem, which makes it impossible to get when there's plenty of good stuff that you can find.
The 2011 football team was very good, but they didn't win at all.
This is a terrible analogy. That doesn't make sense at all. Dathan Grant said
they didn't close the deal.
But that has nothing to like. But Blanton's or Pappy doesn't have a chance to close the deal. This is a retail purchase. It's not the same thing. But we're short on time, so hang on, because I want you to be able to talk about the raffle as well. Going to Destin for the beach. What drink should I bring?
Just high noons, tons of seltzers. That's what I would bring.
Okay. Gerald Mathern, ask him to repeat the name of the one with Bardstown and Willett.
That is Hirsch, and it's Bivouac. Bizouac, I think. It's in a square bottle with an orange label. Short square bottle.
All right. We got 30 seconds. I just retweeted you. Tell us about the raffle that's going on in 30 seconds.
Yeah, so one of my nephews is on a 10U baseball team, travel team, and they are doing a whiskey raffle in November.
I love
And they've got pretty much the full weather lineup minus William LaRue and Single Barrel. But they've got like 25 super solid bottles.
I literally have 5 seconds. I got to go. I'll remind people on the other side.
AFR.
I'll give you all the details on the other side. That's my fault for pushing them up against the clock on a heartbreak. I'll give you all the info on that coming up after the top of the hour. Let me remind you about Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. I always tell you about their energy-efficient replacement windows. I always tell you about the beautiful entry doors. Let me remind you again about their hardy plank and vinyl siding, because I've been hammering this here these past few weeks, and I've had some of you say, man, I didn't realize they did siding. Even though we always say windows, door siding, it's worth mentioning. Go to the website, reliefwindows.com. You'll see the siding tab right there at the top. And you can learn more about all of the siding options that they have at Relief Windows. Siding, especially hardy plank or vinyl siding, is a fantastic option. You can beautify the exterior of your home in less than 2 weeks with beautiful siding options from Relief Windows. Learn more at reliefwindows.com. Windows, door siding, reliefwindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Embattled owner Robert Sarver announced he's begun the process to sell both the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury. Last week, the NBA suspended Sarver for a year and fined him $10 million for workplace misconduct, including using racial slurs and harassing employees. The pursuit of history continues tonight when the Yankees host the Pirates, 7:05 Eastern on ESPN+. New York superstar Aaron Judge, one home run away from tying Roger Maris's American League single-season record of 61. Judge is having the greatest hitting season in baseball history, especially considering how the game's currently being played, believes ESPN's Buster Olney.
The advent of analytics, how teams search for weaknesses in hitters, all the relievers, and everybody throwing harder than ever, and yet in the second half of the season, Aaron Judge hitting .372, a .506 on-base percentage, .853 slugging percentage in 54 games in the second half, Greeny, 27 home runs.
Buster on Get Up. Buccaneers receiver Mike Evans' one-game suspension's been upheld. He'll miss Sunday's showdown against the Packers. Evans was disciplined for his role in the brawl with the Saints.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We're supposed to have Russ next hour, but I just am not confident he's going to answer the phone and pick up. So I'd love to tease it and tell you that Russ will be back, but I mean, I don't know. I hope he's with us next hour. I'll put it to you that way. He's on the rundown for 5:15. We'll see if he answers the phone. I'm not being funny here. Like, I legit don't know if he'll answer the phone. So, okay. Thanks again. Taylor was with us at the end of last hour. He mentioned that he had a nephew there. By the way, I love that a 10-year-old baseball team, their fundraiser is a whiskey raffle. Is that an only in Louisiana type thing? A 10-year-old baseball team, their fundraiser is a whiskey raffle. Anyway, you can go to Taylor's Twitter. I just retweeted it as well. It's the info of where you can Venmo to get your tickets and all that stuff is on there. You'd have to include your name and your phone number with your payment. It's $10 a ticket. They've got all of the Wellers, the Weller vertical, except for William LaRue. So they've got 107, 12, CYPB, full proof, and special reserve. Looks like they've got an E.H. Taylor small batch, Eagle Rare, Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered. That looks like a Jefferson's Ocean, Blanton's Elijah Craig Toasted, McKenna 10, some really good stuff. They have some really good stuff. So if you want to check it out, I just retweeted it. So if you follow me on Twitter, I just retweeted the post of where you Venmo if you want to go contribute. So fire away. If you're a whiskey lover, you want to get involved, there you go. And Taylor is on Twitter at Taylor Calandro, by the way. At Taylor Calandro, or I just retweeted him at Matt Moscona, so you can check it out there. All right, Wednesday, middle of the week, is when NFL teams have to issue their first injury report of the week. Now, this was just a massive storyline a week ago because of the injuries to very notable players, because the Saints, of course, were eyeing Alvin Kamara's injury, and it re-signed Latavius Murray, and
Murray, present.
There we go. And so we were watching the injury report throughout the week. And then obviously with Tampa as well, it was so significant because they had a lengthy injury report with key players, receivers, their left tackle, etc. The injury report for the Saints today is better. Nobody missed practice, which is good. Paulson Adebo practiced for the first time in a few weeks. He was limited, but practiced. Alvin Kamara practiced. He, of course, missed the game on Sunday with a rib injury. Limited, but he practiced. Jameis Winston was limited, and apparently this is how they handled him a week ago, where he was limited. He did what he could throughout the week, and then they got him ready to play on Sunday. A couple of new names that have popped up. Ryan Ramczyk with an elbow injury was limited today. Taysom Hill limited with the rib injury. Deontay Hardy limited with a foot. Marcus May limited with a rib injury as well. Adam Prentice is on the list, as is Traquan Smith, who remains limited due to that shoulder injury. So I think all things considered, good news. The fact that Alvin Kamara and Jameis Winston were both in pads today practicing, albeit on a limited basis, is a good sign that they are preparing to play. The real concern becomes if you practice or if you DNP or if you practice Wednesday and then Thursday you don't. You have a set, which means when you tried to give it a go on Wednesday, you had a setback. So we'll check that out tomorrow. But as of right now, good news for the Saints as they get ready to take on Carolina. And, of course, the three players we'll be watching most closely, Paulson Adebo, Alvin Kamara, and, of course, Jameis Winston. Adebo is yet to play through 2 games this season because of the ankle. It would be wonderful to get him back, and you'd have your secondary a full go, especially against a Carolina Panther team that has struggled offensively and certainly struggled to finish games, even with Christian McCaffrey back. Alvin Kamara just makes the Saints' offense more dynamic. We know that. We've known that not only as a runner but as a receiver. So hopefully this is getting Kamara on track to play on Sunday. And then Jameis is really the big one because for all the reasons we've talked about. You're talking about a guy with fractures in his back. I cannot imagine how he's playing with fractures in his back. But if they're going to give it a go again this week with Jameis, it's got to be a thing where you see him performing at a level requisite with what you'd expect. I saw Kat Terrell tweeted from a stat from ESPN Stats and Info about Jameis. And this was, I think, probably the biggest concern for Jameis right now. Jameis, and this again from ESPN Stats and Info, and Kat Terrell tweeted it. She's on Twitter at @Kat_Terrell if you want to go follow her. Jameis was 2 of 11 on passes that went 15 yards or more in the air. And you might say, well, deep balls, maybe pressure, but he was pressured on only 1 of those attempts. So I'll say it another way. The Saints attempted 11 passes. Jameis attempted 11 passes that traveled in the air beyond 15 yards. They completed only 2 of them, 2 of 11. But he was only pressured on 1 of those throws. That's just not who Jameis has been. And that's my concern. You can tell, I'm being very sincere. That's my concern with him. And I've expressed this enough, but we know we saw Jameis in camp. We saw him in preseason. We saw him in week 1. His rapport with his receivers is good, but he's playing with a broken back. That has got to affect your ability to throw the football. And this is sort of evidence of that, the ability to function within the offense. So I'd hate to see the Saints go out there in Carolina and miss out on an opportunity to get a game that's certainly gettable. You're a 3-point road favorite. You got a quarterback with a broken back, and you're a 3-point road favorite over Carolina. Division game, all that stuff. You got to get this one, and I'd hate to think that you're mortgaging the opportunity to win this game to run out a quarterback who just isn't ready to play. But we'll find that out, I guess, as we get closer to the weekend. Now, as for Carolina, just 2 players on the injury report, and they're both familiar names. One is Dante Jackson. He's limited with a hamstring injury. And then Christian McCaffrey just got a rest day, so that's why he didn't participate. But that's it. Other than that, Carolina's a very healthy team. Jackson is certainly pivotal this week. When you look at the Saints and all the receivers they have, Dante Jackson, they need Dante Jackson to be out there on the field. Here was Matt Rule on Wednesday giving an update on former Tiger Dante Jackson.
We had him just do some light Indy today, so we probably won't know until later in the week. It might end up being a game time type decision. So, we'll have to just kind of wait and play it out by ear.
Okay, so if Jackson doesn't go, here's what Matt Rule said the contingency would be.
Yeah, we would start CJ and JC, and we've been playing Miles at the nickel, so those guys would go, and Keith would just bump up, and Stan would be ready to go. So we would just have those guys. CJ would get a start.
The thing about Carolina, though, is their issue doesn't appear so far, overwhelmingly anyway, to be defensive. They went and lost to the Giants on the road 19-16. I mean, you allowed 19 points in a road game and you lost. That's your offense. They lost to Cleveland 26-24. Of course, we know how that one ended with the Cade York walk-off in week one. So really the question is, how does Carolina improve offensively? And that's one of the things Matt Rule was asked today.
I think I've said it after the last two games. The real factor to me is third down, winning third downs, and then again, when you're in the red zone 4 times, you have to come away with touchdowns. You can't take a sack on a screen. You can't have a negative run. You can't have those things. You can't have a penalty on 2nd and 4. So I think if you score some touchdowns instead of field goals, that changes things as well. The first scoring drive for us, I think, was a 16-play drive, resulted in a field goal. So we've shown we can sustain it. To me, it's just kind of getting out of our own way a little bit, and again, that just comes down to me, just everybody executing at a high level.
It's been the inability to finish drives, but that's actually been something the Saints defensively have been good at. I mean, you saw that against Tampa time and again, where Tampa went forward on a 4th and short. The Saints forced a turnover. The Saints have been very good defensively in those situations where even when you're allowing a sustained drive, you slam the door and limit to 3 or a 3-point attempt. So that'll certainly be a key this week if you want to look at it. You heard Matt Rule say it out there. It's third downs and then it's red zone. It's getting touchdowns instead of field goals for Carolina. That's been their bugaboo so far, is finishing drives, and that's going to be the charge for the Saints defense, is making sure that they hold Carolina to field goal attempts and keep them out of the end zone. And, of course, you really want to see the offense get going. But I'll reiterate it. I am nervous about how effective Jameis Winston can be because of this injury. And it looks like it could be something that plagues them throughout. It's not – and, again, we learned of injuries that Drew Brees sustained and played through during his career. In 2010, the year after the Super Bowl, late in that season, it was very clear Drew Brees was struggling. Only later did we learn about the oblique injury that he had. Another point in his career, we learned he was dealing with like a partially torn MCL. And we only learned those after the season. It became very clear why he was limited, but you still felt that an 80% Drew Brees, a limited Drew Brees, was better than whatever option you had on the bench. If it was McCown or back when if it was Chase Daniel or Mark Brunell. I mean, Drew Brees was a better option. Andy Dalton started more than 100 games in his NFL career. I'm not calling to bench Jameis Winston because of performance. I'm just saying if you have a healthy Andy Dalton who's been a proven starter in this league or a limited Jameis Winston, that is a much more complex decision than, hey, just get Drew Brees ready to go. And I think that's where Dennis Allen and his staff have got to be right now, is understanding what a limited Jameis gives you relative to what a healthy Andy Dalton could potentially give you. All right, let me knock out a break. Glad you're with us. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. A lot going on Wednesdays. Of course, T-Bob and I, it's Scone and Tea from Oliver Twist at 7 o'clock. Pluckers Trivia at 7:30 at Blue Bond at 8 o'clock at Nicholson. So make a full night of it, man. Come see us at Oliver Twist. Go hang out at Pluckers. Ton going on. We appreciate everybody for coming and hang with us when you can. We'll knock out a quick break. I'll get to some of your calls, texts, emails, tweets. I do want to talk about Aaron Judge, who made history last night. And I'll tell you my story of watching or not watching Aaron Judge hit his 60th homer. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
I want to take 60 seconds to remind you about Clegg's Nursery. If you have social media, go check out the Clegg's Facebook page or Instagram. You'll see all of their fall decor. I tell you all the time about the pumpkins and the hay bales and the scarecrows and the squash and the gourds and the corn stalks. It's so much fun this time of year with fall upon us and to decorate. A lot of people love to decorate for Halloween and for Thanksgiving and ultimately Christmas, which is coming. But it's fall, which is so much fun. And Clegg's just has an incredible selection, an incredible display of fall merchandise and fall decor if you want to go check it out to beautify your patio area, your back porch, whatever it may be, or even inside the house. It's Clegg's Nursery. Hey, deer hunters, remember they got buckbusters and mow bucks and deer corn and all that stuff as well. Fall is upon us. Celebrate with Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Ed sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
History in the Bronx last night. Here's how it sounded.
Fielders on the left side for Judge, and here's the 3-1. Drilled deep to left field. There it goes. Number 60. Slide over, babe. You've got some company. Aaron James Judge has tied George Herman Babe Ruth with 60 home runs.
Michael Kay of the Yes Network on the call. We did talk about it yesterday on the show. I am not going to spend a ton of time on this, unfortunately, because I just realized the audience and a lot of people don't care, but or care as much as I do. But I'm trying to put some context around what Aaron Judge has done. And as I explained yesterday, you're talking about a guy who is the only player in the 147-year history of Major League Baseball to hit 60 home runs legitimately in this few of games. Babe Ruth, when the season was 155 games, hit his 60th homer on the final day. Of course, Roger Maris hit 61 after the season had expanded to 162 games. That's why for a time there was an asterisk, as I think you all know this history. Then the juicers came along, and we all know how that transpired. You had, you went all of baseball's history with just Ruth and then Maris. And then in a span from 1998 to 2001, you had Bonds, McGuire twice, and Sosa 3 times all do it. So it happened 6 times in a 3-year span after it hadn't happened but twice in 100 years. So 100-plus years. So we all recognize what happened in baseball, and largely the home run numbers are neutered. They're just not significant. I get it. Hitting 500 homers used to be an automatic pass to the Hall of Fame. It's not anymore. But Aaron Judge, in a season where he passed up a contract extension from the Yankees in the offseason, bet on himself, and has followed up with a season where he may well win the Triple Crown. Last night, Judge, who's hitting nearly 350 since the All-Star break, took the lead with a 316 batting average, and is on. He will win. Look, he's 20 homers ahead of the next closest in the home run. He's far and away leading the league in RBI. So if he can hold on for a few more weeks with the batting average, he'll win the Triple Crown. And he'll be the first player ever to win the Triple Crown and be the home run king. It's or with 60 homers, I should say. So it's just incredible that we're literally watching something that somebody bested Babe Ruth, legitimately. It took 95 years since Babe Ruth for a player to hit 60 homers in fewer games than Babe Ruth did. And Aaron Judge did that last night. And I marvel at the season he's having. It's incredible to watch when Judge is doing what he's done, really with no protection in the lineup either because of the injuries the Yankees have had. So whether you're a Yankee fan or not is irrelevant, just like in 1998 when we were all enamored with the home run chase with Sosa and McGuire. It didn't matter if you were a Cubs or a Cardinals fan. Everyone was enamored. Now we all know why, with the benefit of hindsight, that has been stained. But it was still a hell of a lot of fun to watch, and this has been also. The thing that sucks is that I missed the homer. I had the game on. I had the game. This happened to me with the Cubs winning the World Series as well. And I'm not a Cubs fan, but as we've talked about, I'm a fan of history. So when the Cubs were playing the Indians in that game was rain delayed. Do you remember that? The game was rain delayed.
Game 7.
But there was the rain delay, some in the middle of the game. And we had just moved into the house we're in now, and I was sitting on the floor with my back against the couch. So I'm not sitting on the couch, but sitting on the floor, like looking up at the TV, which we have above the fireplace. And I just dozed off at some point. Like some point, I was up, extra innings, like rain delay, all that stuff. And I looked up when my eyes kind of popped back open. You know how sometimes you do when you doze off and then like however long it is, you don't know how long you got, your eyes just pop open again?
Yeah.
I popped my eyes open and the Cubs were celebrating on the field.
They're dogpiling.
It was after the dog pile, but they were celebrating on the field. So, they didn't have, the stage out there yet to do the trophy presentation, but it was within minutes. It was, literally within a few minutes of that. And maybe it was the eruption, the lattice, which woke me up. I don't know. But so I missed that, despite my best effort to watch it. Well, last night, of course, I had the Yankees on. I was watching the whole game. Well, if you were watching the game, the Yankees gave up a 4 spot in the 8th, and they were down 8-4. And I was like, man, bleep this. And I knew Judge wasn't going to bat in the 8th unless if they, and he was having a bad night anyway, but unless if they got a little bit of a rally together. And it was 9 o'clock, so I had to go bathe Drew. So I go bathe Drew and come back in the den, and I walk into the den. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I walk into the den. And it's 8-5, so the Yankees had scored 1 run.
Yep.
And the camera, it's on yes, and the camera is showing Judge like being congratulated by his teammates in the dugout. I'm like, you have got to be bleeping kidding me. Did I just miss his 60th homer? And sure enough, I pulled up Twitter, and I'd missed about 2 minutes. So I just missed Judge's 60th. I was bathing my kid. It almost doesn't even make sense because I should have just put it on my phone, but I was so ticked about the game itself. And then, but I did get to see Stanton hit the grand slam.
I was going to ask that if you saw Stanton's grand slam.
So I'm guessing many of you weren't watching the game, but yes, so they put together a rally. Rizzo doubled. Somebody walked. Donaldson got hit, and then Stanton hit a walk-off grand slam. So I did watch the grand slam.
340-foot line drive.
It was a line drive. It was incredible.
14 feet off the ground. What the hell is that?
That's the beauty of that ballpark.
No.
That's a single at Fenway. But anyway,
it's a single at Fenway. They might reach the infield, ricocheting off the wall. It's hit so damn hard.
It's incredible. But anyway, so Judge has a shot tonight to pass Ruth, to tie Maris. He will be the AL all-time home run king before the season is over, and in the minds of many, the legitimate home run king. Certainly the way, since baseball has cleaned up its act, he will be, and he will likely set a mark that may never be touched until maybe another 95 years when the next Aaron Judge comes along. So in this era of pitching, of specialized pitching, of analytics, of game planning, of statistics, all of it, what he is doing is just stunning. I mean, baseball is built now to where this shouldn't happen, but here you have a guy doing something that literally hasn't been done since Babe Ruth. And it's pretty incredible whenever you can say that as a baseball fan. That's a mouthful. So congrats to Aaron Judge. I get it. Many of you maybe don't care, may never care about baseball again or the home run record again. But if you do love sports, this is something that will be talked about for 100 years beyond us. So it's kind of an opportunity, if you love sports, love to watch history, find a TV tonight or an opportunity to watch the Yankees, and every time Aaron Judge bats, because you're probably going to see something you may never see again in your life. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. If you want to look and feel like your younger self, the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help, whether it's hormone replacement therapy that can help you feel like your younger self again, or things like Botox or laser hair removal or laser tattoo removal, or look, they have other laser treatments that can remove those brown and red like sunspots that get on your arms or your chest or your face. There's a way to look and feel like your younger self, and the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana makes that happen every single day. Learn more online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Greg Sankey gave an interview to ESPN about the college football playoff expanding, and he said, despite the fact that the SEC has won 12 of the last 16 national championships, he says he wants college football to become a more national sport and not be so regionalized, which it is. I mean, the southeastern part of the country cares far more about college football than the rest of the country. That is a geographical fact. That's not even debatable. It just means more thing is actually legitimate. It's in large part because of major metropolitan areas, pro towns elsewhere. It's not to say other areas don't care about college football. It's just that here people care far more, which is why you have a lot more resources and bigger stadiums and all that sort of stuff. But Sankey said, we've excluded the West Coast and everything west of the Rockies for all but 2 years, meaning in the current format. We want college football to be strong nationally, and I think that's the responsibility we all have. That's one of Sankey's points in calling for an expanded college football playoff, to make sure that teams from every part of the country have an opportunity to make the playoff and to compete for a championship. Only Oregon, the first year of the playoff in 2014, and Washington in 2017 are the only Pac-12 teams to make the playoffs. Of course, Oregon beat Florida State and then lost to Ohio State for the national championship. That was that Cardale Jones team. And then Washington in 2017 took it on the chin against Alabama in their semifinal game. So Sankey also said the main obstacle to expansion moving up to 2024 remains lining up bowl dates, on-campus involvement, all that stuff, TV networks. So a lot of logistics. Said it's doable. It's doable, but effectively, if everyone hadn't gotten all butthurt a year ago when Texas and Oklahoma jumped into the SEC, and this was the format that had been agreed upon by everyone, and they'd continued to move forward, it would be done. But everybody brought everything to a screeching halt a year ago when Texas and OU jumped to the SEC, and now they're right back where they were a year ago looking to move forward. They essentially wasted a year, which is why Greg Sankey is frustrated. But a 12-team playoff is coming, and hopefully sooner than later. All right, it's after further review. Quick break. We'll come back. Overrated, underrated. We got Tigers and the pros. A lot of your questions coming in as well, including one from Andy Ortiz, who said, Matt, has your opinion of LSU changed since the Florida State game? I do want to delve into that. We'll get there. Charles Turner met with reporters and talked about winning that starting center job, stabilizing the offensive line. We'll get into a lot of that as well coming up in hour 3. A ton to do. Glad you're here. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. You know where to find them, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. That's where you find the Baton Rouge General online. But you can also find the Baton Rouge General all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Of course, the Mid-City location, the Bluebonnet campus, the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital, and the Express Care locations. Remember, I tell you all the time, the Express Care locations, that's walk-in urgent care 7 days a week from the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Dutchtown, right next to the high school. Highland, just through the south gates of LSU. And Nicholson, directly across from Tiger Stadium. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital Express Care locations. Listen, no matter what type of medical service you need, if it's cancer treatment, if it's emergency care, if it's their heart and vascular center, your primary care, surgery, or even pregnancy and birth, you can deliver your baby at the Baton Rouge General. Learn more at brgeneral.org. For the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Come on over to Corval Toyota and meet with a sales specialist to build your new Toyota. It's easy and stress-free. Or if you're looking for a pre-owned, we have a wide variety. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So I got a text from Andy Ortiz, who said, Matt, has your opinion of LSU changed since the Florida State game? No, it hasn't. But I don't know if that's the question you're asking, because I want to take you back to before the season started. And before the season started, my opinion was Jaden Daniels was going to start because he was your most veteran quarterback, bad offensive line, dual threat guy, dynamic runner, all that stuff. Bad offensive line. We talked about that all going into the Florida State game. Really good Florida State defensive line, bad LSU offensive line. What transpired? My opinion going into that game was that Jaden Daniels was going to be LSU's leading rusher, not because they were going to call his number and have all these design runs, but pocket breakdown, he was going to tuck, run, and be your leading rusher. He did. We talked about special teams issues. What if LSU's lining up to kick a game-winning field goal from 41 yards with 2 seconds left and LSU's down 1? Do you trust them to make it? Look at what happened. I mean, I don't think anything that transpired against Florida State surprised me. That was kind of an expectation. I thought LSU would win the game. I thought better coach, home field, not a home crowd, of course, being in New Orleans, all that sort of stuff. I certainly thought Jaden Daniels was a better option at quarterback than Jordan Travis. And the thing that surprised me is Travis was very good on third down. Thought LSU, if they played that game again, would probably have a more sound defensive plan against Travis in particular. But no, that didn't surprise me. What happened against Florida State? But I don't think that's the question that Andy is asking when he said, has your opinion of LSU changed since Florida State? Because everything that happened against Florida State is what I kind of expected. What's been encouraging is, and I think one of the other conversations we had preseason was, hey, look, I think LSU is a team that in November is going to be drastically better than they were in September. As you see them go throughout the season, as the coaches get to know the players better, as the players get to know the system better, as some of the young players like Will Campbell, who's being asked to play a lot as a freshman, as they get older or more experienced, as some of the transfers get more comfortable in this new offense or defense, like you're just going to see a team that should be better with reps. I thought Ryan Clark last week said it best. He said the two areas where you would really like to see LSU improve were on the offensive line with protection and in the secondary. He said because that's all about continuity, communication, and reps. With those three, with continuity, communication, reps, you can improve protection. You can improve in the secondary. I think we certainly saw that. It's fair to say, yeah, we saw that against Mississippi State in the secondary. The protection, I think, is still a work in progress, but I think you've got your best 5 linemen in there right now. And Bradford coming back this week probably is one of those as well. Probably your right guard in place of Frazier. So that's probably the question that Andy meant is, where do you think LSU's improved? I still think you're going to have offensive line issues. I don't think you're going to be a dynamic running game at all this year. I think Jaden Daniels' ability to develop as a passer is key to this offense to get the wide receivers involved more. But the thing, when LSU wrapped up fall camp, one of my biggest takeaways was I thought the defense was better than I expected they would be. And I think Saturday was very encouraging to that end as well. And that was before Mason Smith's injury also. So it would be understandable if they took a little step back. But remember, I mean, part of what we've seen is, look, 2 of the 4th down stops. So Mississippi State went for it on 4th and 1 that first time and got it. Their next 2 4th downs that they went for and didn't get it, Mekhi Wingo was in on the tackle. And Mekhi Wingo came on this show after he came to LSU and he said, look, my specialty is interior pass rush, blowing up the launch pad. He did it there. So Mekhi Wingo probably deserves a lot more credit than we're outwardly giving him. So it's a good question. I understand it. But no, I mean, I think this team, as I've said, I think their ceiling, I thought their ceiling this year was 9. Ceiling. Like everything goes right. Ceiling, 9. But I thought their floor was 7. And maybe their floor is actually 6. Maybe I misjudged that. But I still think that they get above that number, which has kind of been my feeling all along. So, all right, it's after further review. All right, Muse, let's do some overrated, underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
All right, Matt.
All right, Muse.
Let's get it started here.
Let's get it started here, Muse.
Overrated or underrated?
Let's get it started. It's a Black Eyed Peas song. Black Eyed Peas. Underrated.
Okay. Big Black Eyed Peas guy, huh?
I am, but that's not the point. Remember, the segment isn't what Matt likes.
That's
it's
true.
Overrated, underrated.
True. Overrated or underrated cologne or perfume? Fragrance.
I'm going to say that both are overrated. I think smelling good is very important. However, with things like body spray, scented deodorant, you can smell good and not pay what you have to pay for cologne and perfume. My wife has this perfume that she loves. It's called Chloe. It's expensive as hell, bro. I mean, like, roll around her birthday and she's running low on Chloe's like $200 a bottle. I'm like, yeah.
That's a lot.
Your day's coming, Kat. Get ready. Your day's coming. Paul, does Sam wear perfume? Do you mind saying?
She does, but I don't know what brand.
Don't know what brand? Telling you, man.
$2. That's
it's just too expensive. Overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Tuna.
Now, here's my question. Are we talking about like a tuna steak or canned tuna?
I mean, I didn't really think that far. It's just, I mean, the fish itself, tuna. Do you like the taste?
So a tuna steak is one of my favorite things in the world to eat. Get a tuna steak, grill it. It's phenomenal. And I think it's very underappreciated because it's red. I don't think people will go to a market and want red fish. I think they want white fish meat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think you are sleeping on tuna steak if you don't eat tuna. If you pass on it because it's red, you're missing out. Now, tuna in the can, I mean, look, if you're broke and you need the 99-cent Sunkist, respect. I mean, I lived off that stuff. That and a lump of mayo on a slice of bread was lunch for me for a long time when I was a, like, broke dude trying to make it in this business, like living in a house with 3 guys, saving $50 on the rent because I agreed to cut the grass. So respect all the grinders out there trying to find a way, and you're eating ramen and cans of tuna.
So that's overrated, but tuna steak.
I don't have no.
Okay.
The canned tuna is properly rated.
Okay,
As we all understand what canned tuna is, but the tuna steak is underrated.
Overrated or underrated? Cowboy boots.
You see, I think cowboy boots are properly rated as a functional tool. If you're a cowboy, there is an intentional purpose of you having the boot when you are a cowboy. Now, if you're wearing cowboy boots as a fashion statement, like if you're a girl with shorts and cowboy boots, please just stop it. Like, that's like in the winter when everybody wears their Uggs. It's like, girls have their Han Solo look. I mean, you don't all have to look the same. Like, do something different. So, as a fashion statement, overrated. As a functional accessory, properly rated.
Overrated or underrated? Jessica Simpson.
Look at old Orlovsky doing the gritty. Did you see the video of Orlowski and RC doing the play breakdown of the long touchdown pass by the Eagles?
I did not.
It's on my Twitter. If you didn't see it, go watch it. It's phenomenal TV. Jessica Simpson, you say. I'm going to say Jessica Simpson's underrated. I think people crap on Jessica Simpson because of the chicken of the sea. Speaking of tuna, because of the chicken of the sea thing, and when on Newlywed she came across kind of looking dumb. I'm just being very blunt. But she's a beautiful girl, number one. Number two, she is a phenomenal vocalist. She's got a great voice. She's acted as well, and she did reality TV. There are not many people that have been able to successfully do all of those things. And she's an entrepreneur. She's got her own line of clothing and jewelry and stuff. Like, Jessica Simpson is very underrated. She's just dumped on for being stupid because of how she was portrayed in Newlyweds. And I don't know if she's... I mean, you can't be that dumb and be that successful in all those things. So maybe a little lack of common sense, but Jessica Simpson, underrated.
It's overrated, underrated.
This is after further review. By the way, if you think a team is overrated or underrated, you can bet on it at DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Look, right now, DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, big touchdowns, big plays, and right now even bigger wins. Two things. Number one, if you're a new customer, bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Again, $5 bet will win you $200 if you hit. Also, this is for everyone, whether you're a new customer or not. Right now, you can boost your winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlay. So right now, every leg that you add on a same game parlay, every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. And so with payouts bigger than ever, why would you bet anywhere else? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on any NFL game and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. One boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Parlay and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-877-7-0-STOP. All right, y'all. It's after further review. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Remember, you got trivia tonight. Geography trivia. We'll test Muse's geography knowledge here in about 45 minutes. Get hyped for that. Tigers in the Pros is coming up to wrap up hour number 2 next. Don't you move.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Give them a buzz. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450. Or online at lainsurance.net. Going to have lunch with the guys from Insurance Network of Louisiana, Adam and Jay, coming up here on Friday. And looking forward to sitting down with them, chatting a little bit about how things are going. But every time we meet, every time we talk, it's always, man, we're just inundated with calls from AFR listeners. And so many of you have trusted me and taken my advice, and I thank you for that. But this isn't really me going out on a limb because I did this process. They looked at my coverage that I had. I had State Farm forever. They looked at my coverage. I was overpaying and underinsured. I had state minimum on auto. They increased my auto coverage to $100, $300, added $1 million umbrella policy, and saved me $1,600 a year. Better coverage for less money. What could they do for you? 293-0450 or online at lainsurance.net.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience Shoppa style. Oh, yeah!
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Muso has Tiger in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Today, the San Francisco 49ers announced that they have released cornerback Kerry Vincent. Kerry did not record a stat so far this season in his time with the 49ers. Played in just 2 games last season with 1 start with the Philadelphia Eagles. Jamal Adams underwent successful surgery to repair his quadriceps tendon that he injured in Week 1, Monday Night Football against the Broncos. That will cost him his season, but Pete Carroll said this morning surgery went well. Expect a full recovery.
Sounded like you said curl.
Curl? Like
Pete Curl. Like
the exercise? Or like what you do to your hair? Or
curl. Or more like her, there. Right, her.
Right there? I like the way you do it right there,
that's
there.
What I was trying to think of. Who was that who sang that?
Huh?
Who was that who sang that?
Isn't that Chingy?
I don't know.
I think that's Chingy.
Paul. Why am I asking you?
Chingy.
Why am I asking you? I got to ask Paul. Paul, who sings that?
That would be Chingy.
Is that the guy who was with Snoop in the Holiday Inn?
Was that you? Yeah.
How about that pull by your boy?
That was a good one.
Don't tell me I don't know my hip-hop. Hip-hop-opotamus?
Other injury.
I knew that would get you.
Damn you. You're giving him the easy ones.
Fish? It's a Big Daddy reference for those that don't know. Pony?
Be nice to the delivery guy. It's not his fault he can't read. Quarterback Dante Jackson was on the Panthers injury report today. Limited with the hamstring. Devon Gottschall found himself on the Patriots injury report today. Gottschall was also limited. He has a back, though. Ty Davis Price out multiple weeks for the 49ers.
Steve. It's just gone off the rails. Why are we just throwing out Big Daddy references?
High ankle sprain will keep Ty Davis Price out for multiple weeks per Kyle Shanahan. Damian
I got
Lewis.
a Twitter question for you, Muse. Have you seen the movie Big Daddy? That's our Twitter poll question.
If you haven't, you're doing life totally wrong. I haven't even gotten into the Mr. Hurley references that we could.
Hooters. Last week was a fluke, woman.
It was a Styx concert.
Bring it on.
The Hooters thing's just a coincidence.
Mr. Hurley, don't make me throw you through the wall again like last Thursday.
Mr. Hurley is arguably the best character in that movie. Arguably.
I still use the GIF all the time. Hell
yes!
All the time. Love it.
Anyway.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore. Like the Big
Damian
Daddy,
Lewis was at walkthrough
Big Daddy
with the Seahawks
references
today,
have
which is great
hijacked
news
this whole
for him.
segment.
Trey Turner was limited with the with the Commanders again as well. That's a hamstring. We had baseball, but we don't have time. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. By the way, were any of the baseball players Josh Smith, Aaron Nola, or Austin Nola?
One of them was Josh Smith.
I saw
1 for 2.
I saw him get a base knock yesterday. Yeah, it was a beautiful laser to left field. By the way. All right, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. So, at Shaw Bills, their guarantee is that they're always going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. So, if you're curious about the price of tires, you can always just go to the website, hit the promotions tab, and you'll see all of the deals that they have currently. If it's the manufacturer's offer, they couple them with in-house offers as well to make sure they get you the best price possible for the best tires on the road. That's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Also, remember, it's just part of their pledge and has been since they opened. They're going to treat you like family. They offer Charlie's Dozen, which is the benefits extended to you and your entire family if you buy tires at Shaw Bills, like free maintenance and things like that. So check it all out. You can learn all that stuff at ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com for more than 50 years. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Come on over to Corval Toyota in Opelousas and meet with one of our sales specialists to build your new Toyota. It's easy and stress-free. Or if you're looking for a pre-owned, we have a wide variety. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Embattled owner Robert Sarver announced he's begun the process to sell both the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury. Last week, the NBA suspended Sarver for a year and fined him $10 million for workplace misconduct, including using racial slurs. In a statement, Commissioner Adam Silver said he fully supports Sarver's decision to sell. The one-game suspension of Buccaneers receiver Mike Evans will stand after his appeal was denied. He'll serve that suspension for his role in the brawl with the Saints in this Sunday's game against the Packers. Tampa also has a couple of injuries at receiver and will need a few tweaks this week as a result, notes ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck.
Who's the tight end more? Cameron Brate's been a good player, somebody that Brady's comfortable with. And then run the football, which is, really the thing that they tried to, establish in New Orleans a week ago to get, Fournette going. And when they do that, it creates opportunities in the play action game, which is probably where their opportunities will have to end up coming.
Yankee star outfielder Aaron Judge with a chance to tie Roger Maris's American League single-season home run record of 61 against the Pirates tonight, 7:05 Eastern, ESPN+.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. That's not going to go well. That's not going to go well.
It's hump day.
Still getting the voice back.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day, Mike.
Hump day.
All right. A little water.
It's hump day.
Wet the whistle.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I may have had a few Chardonnays. What of it?
Hump day.
Have you seen the movie Big Daddy?
It's hump day.
That is today's Citizens Bank poll question of the day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Get to Twitter and vote.
Hump day.
Or text me in the 225.
It's hump day.
396.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
4400.
Hump day.
396 4400.
It's hump day.
396 4400.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Of the very extensive catalog of Adam Sandler movies that are basically all the same movie.
It's hump day.
With all the same people.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Why are me and Muso quoting Big Daddy today?
Hump day.
It's so stupid.
Because it's just the best.
Okay. What about whenever the homeless guy has to pretend to fall asleep?
In the conversation, I'll bring you an Egg McMuffin. I love when they're in the McDonald's and he throws that guy's fries. I love that part.
I gotta stop, dude. We'll end up sitting here just this is the worst radio I've ever done, and I've done a lot of bad radio over the years. But just sitting here throwing out line. What year was that movie? 90, 98, 99? Like
late 90s for sure.
A 20-year-old movie. We're just randomly throwing out lines and scenes.
99.
99. From a movie that's 23 years old.
What's your name? He'll write it on the wall. Mind your business. That's the cover art of the freaking movie. They're peeing on a building.
Oh, man. How do I transition from that to Charles Turner playing center? Oh, man.
You don't. you just go for it.
Who ruined your parlay?
Well,
the GD
the
Jets.
GD Jets.
Okay. What's our poll? Go give me a quick poll result there, Muse. I'm curious to know what the early feedback is.
90%.
I'm going to say 90 have.
I'd say yes.
Well, it was like 6 people who voted. So
20
far.
actually.
You're 20. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious if that's the demographic. I just didn't think that many people have seen that movie. All right. Okay. All right. I got to get it together. Hey, a little bit of news today. Shout out to Mason Smith. If you didn't see it earlier today, Mason Smith did share on all of his social media a picture of him in the hospital. So apparently he did, in fact, have his ACL surgery today. He tweeted, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us," Romans 8:18. So, and there's a picture of Mason in the hospital bed, smiling, looks to be in good spirits. Get that knee taken care of and hopefully get back out there really soon. So Mason Smith had his knee surgery today. Jacoby and Guillory met with the media and talked about how they're honoring Mason Smith.
Like I told everyone else, like I've been knowing Mason since I was a sophomore in high school. So he's been like me and Jaquelin's like little brother since then. So like we told him that we got him, and that's what we're gonna fight for. Like we're gonna fight this season's for Mason.
This season's for Mason, and that's awesome. I mean, it's just you hate to see it for any player, but especially a guy that has such an enormous ceiling like Mason Smith, who was just primed for a dominant year, and he's primed for a dominant year, and certainly he's heading toward a very lucrative future in the NFL, and hopefully he gets back and is able to play really well in short order. Now, on the other side of the line, across from Mason Smith and those guys, is where we find Charles Turner. And Turner has apparently established himself now as LSU starting center. There's going to be some big challenges ahead. I'll be curious how he holds up. Jacoby and Guillory did talk, by the way, about Charles Turner and holding up despite his size there in the middle.
Man, me and Charles have been going at it since I was a junior in high school. So I mean, like he's a technician. Like he'll see stuff before like anyone else even sees it. So he's like a technician. Like being really technical, like that's his big thing.
What so interesting about Charles Turner? Of course, he came to LSU from IMG Academy, and it was stunning when he signed because, and I'm looking at his 247 profile right now, he was listed when he signed at 6'3", 245. It is not often that a high school offensive lineman weighing 245 pounds signs with a place like LSU, a major dominant college program. When Charles Turner signed, they knew he was a center, and they knew he was a project because they were going to have to put weight on him. They knew that was going to be the inevitability with Charles Turner was, hey, look, he's not coming into play right away, but get him bigger, add good weight, and get him ready to play. And he's going into year 4 now, and he still hadn't established himself as the starting center. And the last 2 years, of course, Liam Shanahan held down that role, and as a transfer from Harvard who had never played center, but Turner couldn't beat him out. And then this year, you really felt like, okay, going into his 4th season in Baton Rouge, he's got to be the guy. Like, this is the time now, because your other option is Fitzgerald West, who's a converted defensive lineman, or someone who's never played the position. And all throughout fall camp, we saw Garrett Dellinger running with the first team, which was a sort of another kind of indictment on Turner. But Dellinger had some snap issues, and he played that first game against Florida State, and they decided to make the switch back to Charles Turner. And there have absolutely been communication issues, cadence issues, let me say that, in both of his starts against Southern and then this week against Mississippi State with the procedure penalties, which is something that they've just got to fix. And maybe that's just timing, continuity reps, all that stuff. But Charles Turner, when he met with the media, talked about finally getting his shot to be LSU starting center.
Throughout this whole season, I've just been preparing as if I was a starter. Like Coach Davis has done a great job bringing guys in to, compete. It's a competitive spot now. O-line is competitive. We mess up one day, Coach Davis don't have a problem pulling you out and getting the next guy in. So competitive depth is just, something that I think about every day. So when I go out there, I just think about competing and preparing to be a starter. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm the starter now or whether I'm not the starter next week, it don't matter. I have to prepare myself as if I am the starter.
Charles Turner, I've made this comp a lot, but his situation is a lot like Lloyd Cushenberry. Cushenberry came from Dutchtown. He was literally the last person in the class. It was like, hey, you can hold on until signing day. If we may have a spot for you, we may not. Turns out they did. He signs. He sits for 3 years. And by year 4, he was ready. He becomes the 2-year starter, gets the number 18 jersey, is drafted by Denver, starts as a rookie, and he just developed late and became a really good player and is now a starter in the NFL. Maybe that's going to be the same path for Charles Turner because their paths do align similarly. But the biggest issue they've had so far through 2 weeks with Charles Turner have been the pre-snap penalties, the cadence issues. How do they clean that up?
Just trying to communicate, maybe communicating a little bit too much. Sometimes I do have to trust the guys that I have in there with me that they'll be able to pick up everything without a call. Maybe, the time clock's running down, so I might not be able to get a call out, and I just got to go. So that'll get cleaned up. That's on me, and I just have to trust my teammates better.
The positive thing there is the recognition of what the issue is, and how to fix it. That's one of those things that with reps you would assume is fixed. Similar to I'll give you a comp. Similar to the protection issues that got the PAT blocked at the end of the game against Florida State. We all saw the issue. You know what it is. Well, they fixed it. You could show it on film and fix it. And they have. They've been flawless there since. This is another thing that with reps, it's not physically getting beaten. It's something that you can absolutely control. You know the count. You know the snap count. You know the cadence. Just get it right. And it sounds like they're on their way to doing that. 2 more from Charles Turner. The other thing was something that RC pointed out last week, as I told you about. The 2 things they thought it could prove were secondary and protection because of continuity, communication, and reps. Well, here's Charles Turner talking about continuity with this offensive line.
See, my thing about continuity is I think that no matter who's in there, we should all be able to play well together. You know what I'm saying? So continuity thing comes with us, just being around each other in the meeting rooms or even outside of football, getting together, going out to eat, getting a feel for the guys, because it don't matter, it's a long season ahead of us. It's an SEC season, SEC West at that. So there's going to be different guys in there, whether we can control it or not. It's going to happen. There's going to be different guys playing different positions. So, just making sure that continuity factor sticks in the whole room and not just, only 5 or 7 guys.
The only guy so far who has started all 3 games at the same spot is Will Campbell. But we also saw the other freshman phenom, Emory Jones, start at right tackle this past week against Mississippi State and played pretty well. Here was Turner on the 2 freshmen.
It goes back to, how they started the week. You know what I'm saying? Those guys prepared throughout the whole week. It wasn't just, came game day, they didn't think they were going to start or they started. It was just those guys prepared the whole week that way. So the way they played wasn't surprising to us or anybody in the room because, it doesn't matter who's in there. It's a competitive depth. Whoever's in there, they're going to get the job done, and that's it.
It's nice to say that whoever's in there is going to get the job done. That just hasn't been the reality for this team so far. But it seems to be with these 2 guys. Campbell's your best option at left tackle. He's going to continue to play there, obviously. And Emory Jones made a pretty big statement. I asked Brian Kelly on Monday about Emory Jones, how he did, and he said exceeded expectations. That's a pretty good indicator that he's probably going to get another go at it this week at right tackle when you welcome in New Mexico. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. and we'll continue here on AFR. Stay with us.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001. You know where to find them. Give them a buzz. 752-0001. 752-0001 or online at 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. And I always encourage you to go read their reviews. This one came via Google from Rebecca Owens, who said, I love River City's 1 Hour Air. Joseph was able to quickly diagnose and fix my problem. We had AC in no time. I will use them for all of my HVAC needs. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001. Maybe your experience can be like Rebecca's or like mine. Just look for the big yellow vans and trucks all over town with the giant clock on the side. You'll see them all over, every neighborhood. Your friends and neighbors use River City's 1 Hour because they've been around for 40 years, treating people right, providing great customer service at a fair price. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off MSRP on a new 2021 Ford F-150. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trust.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Saints did make one roster move. It's on the offensive line on the practice squad. They signed free agent guard Yasser Durant and released reserve guard Drew Desjardins. Doing so on Tuesday. Durant's 24 years old. He played at Mizzou. was not drafted in the 2020 draft after the 2019 season. Played in 11 games with the Chiefs as a rookie. Was traded to New England in 2021. Played in 7 games, but then did not make it on the Patriots' final roster cuts. So you look at the you look at the guards on the Saints roster. Your starters, Pete and Ruiz. You've also got Calvin Throckmorton, Wyatt Davis there as well. And so now they feel like they've upgraded with some depth there on the practice squad, adding Yasir Durant, who, again, was a college player at Mizzou, played a lot of football, and played a lot in his first 2 years in the NFL, relatively speaking. So you've added some experience. I'm not going to say veteran, but experience depth on the practice squad there on the offensive line. I'm sure Saints fans will also be interested in this of note. The NFL has rejected Mike Evans' appeal. So Mike Evans was suspended for 1 game for starting the brouhaha against the Saints with his attack on Marshawn Lattimore on Sunday. Appealed the suspension and lost the appeal. So Mike Evans will serve the 1-game suspension against Green Bay this weekend. And when you look at Tampa, injured Chris Godwin, injured Julio Jones, now suspended Mike Evans, and they did sign Cole Beasley this week, and they're expected to activate him. This is a potentially it's one of those things that it wouldn't make up for the Saints losing the game. And I want to reiterate this again. The Saints didn't lose to the Bucs because Marshawn Lattimore was ejected, because of that fight, because of the refs. It's not why the Saints lost. The Saints lost that game because they had opportunities and didn't capitalize. The offense was stuck in the mud. Jameis missed a lot of open throws downfield. Mark Ingram fumbled at the 10-yard line, and you threw a bunch of picks in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's why you lost the game. Were there poor officiating calls that made winning more difficult? Yes. As is true in pretty much every game, because all officials are bad at their job. But that's not specifically to blame why you lost. Still, Tampa, I mean, this is a virtual pick'em. And Tampa's at home against Green Bay, a Green Bay team that lost week 1 to Minnesota and is obviously finding its way offensively without Devontae Adams and what they're going to be. But Green Bay got the win over Chicago this past weekend, 27-10. So back-to-back divisional games. Now they travel to Tampa for the 3:25 game on Fox on Sunday. And boy, it would be a massive, massive favor Green Bay could do New Orleans if the Packers are able to beat Tampa and the Saints in turn beat Carolina. Then both Tampa and the Saints would be sitting there at 2-1. Yes, Tampa would have the head-to-head. But if the Saints are going to make a run at this division, we all know that Tampa is the team that they're going to have to beat. I mean, this is going to be a 2-team race with the Saints and the Bucs in this division if the Saints are able to make it competitive. They lost a huge opportunity on Sunday to gain a game on Tampa, really 2, to not only have the 1-game lead, but also the tiebreaker early in the season. But this could be somewhat of a blessing in disguise. If Tom Brady, limited options, a banged-up offensive line, if Green Bay is able to go down into Tampa in a, excuse me. Probably all the cackling earlier from the Big Daddy quotes. I'm already struggling enough with my voice this week. But anyway, so Mike Evans, his appeal denied. He will miss the game against Green Bay. The other thing of note is that the NFL has apparently issued a warning to Bruce Arians. So Bruce Arians was on the sideline, kind of a little bit of an instigator. Let me not even say kind of. I mean, he was an instigator with that whole situation. Here was, I'm going to play this music. This was Ian Rappaport on the NFL Network earlier today talking about the Bruce Arians, the NFL issuing a warning to Bruce Arians.
Yeah, in a way, you can't blame Bruce Arians. I'd much rather sit in a suite than a press box seat anyway. Plus, you can't go nuts at the press box because all sorts of reporters are around you. So he decided to be on the sideline. I don't blame him for any of that. What the league does blame him for, however, is his actions during this melee or brouhaha. If you watch the video closely, you can see Bruce Arians, kind of talking and egging it on and doing some of the stuff he used to do when he was the head coach, which at that point it was totally fine, I guess. But now he's more of a front office executive, more of a leader now. I guess, in the front office, and the NFL has sent him a warning letter saying that your actions are really not acceptable and that any further action will result in fines and penalties for you and for your team. So I would imagine that this is the last we see of Bruce Arians on the sideline, whether or not he gets a suite or whether or not he sits in the press box. The league not exactly thrilled with his actions to kind of spur that thing on Sunday.
I think a warning is not significant enough. And I don't know what was in the letter that the NFL sent to Bruce Arians. But this should be a zero tolerance thing. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying like Bruce Arians needs to be kicked out of the stadium or fined or anything like that. But that behavior cannot be tolerated. When people who are not affiliated with the game are involving themselves in the game, that can't ever be tolerated. If Bruce Arians or any member of the sports staff wants to be on the field, you see this all the time, or team owners are down on the field, but they say down outside of the coach's box, down basically like inside the 20s and far back from the field. Bruce Arians was literally standing on the white sideline, the coach's box on the sideline. Like, that's not your role. And that's how things like this escalate. And I get it, man. Like, sometimes the natural, innate feeling that he's had his whole life as a man that's almost 70 years old and his coach's whole life to want to intervene, it's hard to turn that off. I get it, which is why he can't be on the field. Because what's the next time? I'm not sitting here saying Bruce Arians is going to throw a punch or encourage a player to do so, but that's not your role there. And him being there did act as a catalyst for what all happened. So, look, maybe Mike Evans still goes and cheap shots Marshawn Lattimore, or maybe the whole thing just dies down. But the fact that Bruce Evans was marching toward the field, waving and hollering at Marshawn Lattimore is a problem. And yes, he should be reprimanded, but he should also not be allowed on the field anymore. Like, that's one of those things that has to be cut off, where you can't be in that situation again, because who knows how it might escalate next time. So the solution is, what's the solution? The solution is, Bruce, you're not allowed on the field. You can go sit up in a suite, you can go sit in the press box, but you can't be on the field. So that's that. Like, you cannot allow someone like that field access on Sundays. So I hope that's part of the NFL protocol moving forward. Maybe this whole thing is embarrassing enough to Bruce Arians that he does tone it down a little bit. But it makes sense. Like, you're taking a guy who spent his whole life in that setting. You've taken him officially out of that setting, but he's still physically there. It's hard to turn off some of those switches. So NFL's reprimanded Bruce Arians. I'm glad they did, but they need to do more, which is take him off the field completely. All right, we're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. I'll recap the injury report for Saints Panthers here in just a quick second if you missed it. Remind you about GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans, you know where to find them. GMFS Mortgage and gmfsmortgage.com. Again, go to the website, find the local loan officer nearest you at gmfsmortgage.com, and they'll get started finding a loan product that's perfect for you. GMFS Mortgage, our state's #1 local lender and number 11 in the entire country. That's GMFS Mortgage. Check them out online at gmfsmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, quickly, let's run through, and we'll get to Otter Locks in about 15 minutes from right now. Let's quickly run through the injury report in case you missed it earlier today. Some good news for New Orleans. Everybody practiced. Now, some players were limited, which we'll get into, but nobody was held out. Paulson Adebo, who, of course, has missed the first 2 games of the season, practiced, but was limited. Alvin Kamara, who missed Sunday's game against Tampa, practiced, but was limited. Jameis Winston, as we know, is dealing with the back injury. Sounds like they're going to handle him as they've handled him last week, which is just limit him throughout the week, let him do what he's comfortable doing, hope to get him ready to go for Sunday. Ryan Ramczyk, Traquan Smith, Taysom Hill, Marcus May, Adam Prentice, Deontay Hardy, all limited as well with a variety of different injuries. So let's keep an eye on that tomorrow. You hope nobody regresses. If you're wondering what you look for, that's what you look for tomorrow. Just hope that nobody goes from limited to DNP. You want to make sure everybody progresses as the week goes along and gets ready to play. As for the Panthers, their injury report was much shorter and certainly far less consequential. But Christian McCaffrey did not practice. It was just a rest day, a rest designation. And then Dante Jackson, the former LSU star Dante Jackson, was limited with a hamstring injury. So of course, they got J.C. Horn there. They've got a talented secondary where they've invested a lot of resources into building up that secondary, and they will need it this week with Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave and Deontay Hardy and all the weapons that the Saints have in the passing game, and theoretically getting Alvin Kamara back as well. So that's one that we are certainly going to have to follow as we move through the week. One more from Matt Rule, who met with with reporters earlier this week. He was asked about the Saints' offense with and without Alvin Kamara and how they differ when Kamara is not there.
I think Alvin Kamara is one of the great players in the game, right? And so can affect you in the run game, but can also affect you in the catch game as well. I mean, they're going to get him out on the perimeter. I mean, he can run shallow crosses. He can run all their choice routes. He can run loosey routes, option routes for them. So you have to know where he is at all times. But Ingram's a great player. He's a guy who's done it for a long time. He's an elite leader. He's tough. He runs the ball hard. So I think just in terms of the run game, it's a lot of the same. In the passing game, I think Kamara is someone you just always have to know where he is because he can do it from the backfield or from the receiver position.
And I think the other thing that we learned this past week, of course, is that Mark Ingram is going to be better suited on this team as a guy that comes off the bench to give you 4 or 5 carries, basically not to be the guy, but to give the guy a blow and be fresh legs and go run hard, for a handful of carries. Of course, you can use Taysom Hill in the run game as well if you need him. But, when you look back to the Falcons game, Ingram had 4 carries for 22 yards. Averaged 5.5 yards a carry. That's all I need from Mark Ingram. What I don't need is Mark Ingram trying to be the bell cow on this team when I don't think he's capable of being that. So if Mark Ingram can give you somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 8 carries in a game and can average around 5-6 yards a carry, awesome. Be that. But if he's the guy that you're hoping is going to get 15 to 20 touches a game, you got issues. You have real sincere issues with that part of the game. So Saints got a big opportunity, man. Big opportunity this week, Carolina. Saints are about a field goal favorite on the road against the Panthers. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Pluckers trivia. We will put Muso to the test. Of course, Pluckers is our Hump Day sponsor all throughout the year. Nicholson and Bluebonnet every Wednesday is trivia night. Every team that goes gets to spin the prize wheel. So whether you win a round or not, you get to spin the prize wheel and win a prize. So we'll have a little fun with some trivia when we come back. Also, a few more tidbits on LSU as they get prepared to take on New Mexico this weekend. We'll hear from the New Mexico head coach when we return on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home, listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. And, of course, Darren James, the only realtor who will offer to sell your home for free. Not a gimmick, not a gag. It's honest to goodness. Buy one, list one free. That's Darren's newest program. You've heard me talk about over the years. Darren's Guaranteed Sale program. You've heard me talk about the Love It or Leave It program. Darren's newest program is the Buy One, List One Free program. If you hire Darren to represent you on the purchase of your new home, he will list your home for free. Will not take a commission. He'll sell your home without taking a commission. So, put this plainly, if you're listing your home for sale by owner, or if you want to hire a realtor to sell your home and not pay him a commission, you need to hire Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. and backed by the one-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Danny Gonzalez is the head coach at New Mexico. Danny Gonzalez's team is a 5-score underdog in Baton Rouge this weekend. When asked what he's telling his team about facing LSU, Danny Gonzalez sounds like a man who knows his team is a 5-score underdog against LSU.
It's a great opportunity. I mean, you can go with cliches. You can say they put on their pads just like we do, one leg at a time with their pants. I mean, you can say all those things. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you either are going to go in there and compete or you're not. And I thought last year against Texas A&M, the stage was too big. I thought we were scared. I thought our football team wasn't prepared. I thought they were the moment was too much, and we played like it. In the first 2 minutes, we gave up 2 touchdowns. It's 14-0 with 13 minutes to go in the first quarter. And then once they settled down, we had some kids that made a whole bunch of plays and did some good things. Now, we couldn't block them very well up front on offense, and that led to the 34-0 score. But I don't think there was any expectation of success of any kind. No, I mean, our kids aren't afraid. We're going to go over there and put up a good fight and compete. And if we can create some turnovers, it'll be a good afternoon.
Got a little more optimistic there toward the end. When you're a 31.5-point underdog, it's kind of what you have to say. We'll take a closer look at New Mexico State tomorrow on Thursday shows. We always do our opposing media segment, so we will take a closer look at the Lobos. This is year 3 for Danny Gonzalez there, and the Lobos, they were 2-5 his first year, which was the COVID year. They were 3-9 a year ago as he inherited an awful situation, is trying to build there. He came to New Mexico from Arizona State, where he was the DC and the associate head coach in 2018 and 2019. He got the head coaching job there at New Mexico. Of course, the athletic director at New Mexico is Eddie Nunez, who was an associate AD at LSU before he got the New Mexico job. So from 2-5 in the COVID year to 3-9 a year ago, and they're off to a 2-1 start so far for 2022. It's likely not going to go well for New Mexico Saturday in Tiger Stadium, but we'll preview the Lobos tomorrow on the show. All right, tonight is trivia night at Wednesdays, at Plucker. Excuse me, every Wednesday is trivia at Plucker. So we like to do this on trivia night. We crank up the music. Go ahead, Muse, if you would. Do the honors there. And we take a look at the theme trivia for that night, and we'll fire away a few questions. So tonight is geography trivia.
Ugh.
This is, how about this? Celebrities that share names with places. No, I'm sorry. Now, I don't know if he's telling me that this is all tonight or this is what's coming up. So, geography trivia, which I think is today. Celebs that share names with places. Name that tune. Around the world. European landmarks, and more. I don't know if that's all tonight. That might be all the ones tonight.
Some of that stuff sounds like geography, except for Name That Tune.
Yeah.
I don't know how you really mix that one in there with geography.
You could have songs that are geography based.
Like national anthems?
John Denver, Rocky Mountain High.
Okay, yeah.
Right. I mean,
good song.
You could have it's possible. Okay.
Country Roads Take Me Home.
Country Roads. Well, not necessarily geography.
To a place I belong.
Paul, you want to sing next?
West Virginia.
Oh, look at him feeling himself now. How about that?
That's a classic.
Paul, your guy just sang a few bars of John Denver there. How do you think he did?
That was horrible, Musa.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, it's not good.
That song's not to really be meant to be sang well by lay people. It's just meant to be yelled at the top of your lungs when you're really drunk.
Oh, the song could mention a place. So there you go. Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
Georgian Bay is at the northernmost part of which Great Lake?
Let's go with Lake. Let's go with Lake Erie.
Ooh.
Lake Superior.
Ooh.
Lake Ontario.
You got to keep giving yourself a buzzer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know all of the Great Lakes?
Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan.
And there's one. That ain't it. You're missing one.
Oh, man. What is the other one? Lake, I can't remember it.
The first letter of all the Great Lakes spell out a word.
Really? I didn't know that.
That's how people remember it.
I didn't know that. I don't remember them.
Holmes, Huron,
Lake
Ontario,
Huron. Yeah.
Michigan, Erie, Superior, Homes, Holmes, when you're trying to remember the Great Lakes. Huron was the answer, by the way.
Got what I learned.
Which state? Hey, Muse.
All right.
Which state is the mountain state? Is he Googling it, Paulie? Don't let him Google. Don't let him cheat over there,
I'm not
Paulie.
Googling.
You're the moral compass on this show,
good.
Paulie. Okay.
The mountain state. Well, that could be a lot of different states, couldn't it?
This show ends at 6.
Yeah, the mountain state will go with Colorado.
Paulie, any idea? Mountain state?
I'll go Utah.
Ooh, no. West Virginia would be the answer.
Take me home.
You were just
makes sense.
Think about it, yeah, man.
Country road.
Actually, but the song isn't about the state of West Virginia.
It's not.
It's actually something that's often been debated. But there are those that believe the song is actually about the western part of Virginia. Probably blew some people's mind with that one. All right, one more, Muse. What parish is home to the highest peak in Louisiana? Did anybody pay attention in 8th grade social studies?
I did. I don't remember.
Everybody's looking at everybody in this room.
I don't remember
Paul
it.
just shook his head like nobody paid attention in Louisiana history. Like, did you have Louisiana history in 8th grade?
Yeah, 7th
like we
grade.
all
7th
had
grade.
we did in 8th. So like everybody, I think maybe it was 7th.
There's a peak in Louisiana.
Yeah, how about that?
We'll go with.
Can you name a parish in the state?
Yes, of course. Yes, I can name a
Could
parish.
you name all the parishes?
I could not name all. No.
How many
not
parishes
all,
are there?
There's 65, I believe, right?
Is that there 64?
It's 60, 64. 60, yeah.
Okay.
I know. I cannot name all of them. Yeah. Let's go with Jefferson Parish as the highest peak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one that's below. Yeah.
The one that's below sea level.
The one that's below sea level.
The one that's a bowl.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know.
Wally.
St. James Parish.
No
I don't know.
Again.
Oh yeah.
Bordering
we're
the parish that you just said is the bowl. No, it's not down there.
Oh, okay.
You have to go the other direction.
Oh, so we're going to go North Louisiana.
You have to go to the other direction of the state.
Tinsall Parish. That's in North Louisiana. We can do that one.
No.
I owe myself like 17 buzzers off that one.
Boy, your
geography was never going to go well. Ever.
My wife is the worst in the world at geography. I mean, I would put her, if there was a contest for who is the worst person in the world at geography, I would put Erica Moscona into that. Like, this is a woman with her master's degree, by the way. I once asked her how you would get, if you're in a boat, how you would get from Louisiana to California. She's like, well, you would just go right, and then you just go to California.
Hey, yeah, I like it.
Except for the fact that Mexico is right. You have this whole other continent right there. Anyway.
Ouachita Parish.
Bienville Parish is the answer. It's called Driscoll Mountain.
I have no clue.
I didn't know that either.
Never known
Paulie,
that.
you ever heard of Driscoll Mountain?
I have not.
Yeah, me either. Driscoll Mountain. Well, if you're going to Pluckers tonight, and it's the Summit, Louisiana. There's Driscoll Mountain. Yeah, if you're going to trivia tonight at Pluckers, maybe, just maybe, those might pop up. So you got a little bit of a little tidbit. Might help you out if you're filling out your answers. You can impress everyone you know with your rapier wit. I didn't say it the other way, like it does in Ace Ventura. Or in Dumb and Dumber. Nope. You know?
No, yeah. It's
supposed to be rapier wit.
I didn't want to get sidetracked again and start quoting Dumb and Dumber.
No, we won't do that. Okay, Otter Locks coming up next. AFR. AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, Rouse's.com, or download the Rouse's app. Rouse's is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Of course, you can download the Rouse's app. Delivery and curbside options are available from Rouse's, so it's easy. You download the Rouse's app, pick out all your items. Your personal shopper will go pick out all of your items for you. When you pull up, they'll bring it out to you. So delivery and pickup options are available. If you can't get to Rouse's, no worries. They have delivery options so you can have your groceries delivered to you. If you're having a game watch or a tailgate, of course, the Tigers are back at home this weekend. The Saints are on the road. If you're going to be watching the game or going to the game, Rouse's can help you out with all your tailgate trays, your party platters, everything you need to thrill your guests, including all your cold beverages. It's Rouse's. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Learn more online at Rouse's.com or download the Rouse's app. Rouse's, this feels like home.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off MSRP on a new 2021 Ford F-150. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Glad to have you aboard. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, often incomprehensible, the Ott Father himself. A 1-2 night last night. We hit with the Angels, lost with the Rockies and the Mariners. See what we got tonight. Jimmy, how are you?
All right. Yeah, let's bounce back tonight.
Let's do it.
Little small clip.
Hey, man.
Hey, one thing.
We are still way ahead. I'm okay. We're okay.
Bills are up to 6, so hope we got down to 5.5.
I played it at 5.5 yesterday when you said it.
Yeah, so I think it's going to climb a little bit more as well. Detroit and over parlay. We talked about this a couple of nights ago when we hit that big underdog. Oh, actually, that's right. I didn't get it in on Monday. We played Detroit on Monday night, like plus $1.75. They won 11-0. Baltimore, they're the number one ROI team all year. We've been on them. We love them. It's made us a lot of money. But they have hit a wall. They kind of fade down the stretch, and so are some of their pitchers, Matt. And that's what we're fading against tonight. Detroit is actually hitting the ball a little bit. Here late, they're looking for a sweep. Lyles is fading. We're looking at Detroit over parlay. Some sites don't let you do it because they're sort of in the same game. We've got plus 349 on it. Detroit over 8.5.
So it's the money line and the over.
Yep.
Let me see. I'll tell you what I got. I'm doing it on DraftKings. Let's see. What did you have it at?
Plus 349.
Yep. Plus 349 is what I'm looking at. Let's
Okay.
roll. All right, so over.
All right.
So Detroit and over 8.5. Okay.
Yeah. Did you get 8 or 8.5?
8.5.
Okay. All right. Seattle, we lost to them last night. We'll go back with them tonight with the White Sox. The parlay going to pay about $1.50, $5.60. See what you got on that. Seattle, White Sox, both money line.
Looking at plus 155.
Okay. So bounce back with Seattle at a 1-0 lead. Castillo let us down last night. Robbie Ray tonight against one of the weaker pitchers for the A's. Seattle needs it. We'll bounce back. They've been pretty good in that position. And you're not going to like this one.
Pirates.
Okay, first 5, all right? First 5 innings, not the game. There's a huge pitching matchup, a huge pitching advantage, believe it or not, for the Pirates. Contreras, his last 5 starts, he's given up a total of 5 runs. He's averaging between
1 minute remaining.
5 and 6 innings in those appearances. He gives up his 1 run to the Yankees. I'll take my shot. Plus 230 on the first 5 against Severino, who you don't know what you're going to get there, as you probably are well aware of that one. So, hey, let the Pirates get out to the first 5 lead. You can have the dramatics and hell. The whole thing, the John Sterling, but big underdog in a bit. Contreras is going to fire.
So Pirates money line on the first 5 or the
money line first 5
Got
plus 230 plus 240.
I'm looking at plus 205.
Ooh, you go shopping, boy.
All right, all right, Otter. Where are you tonight?
No, seafood and steaks and Airline Highway in Gonzales.
All right, Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us. Thank you, Otter.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, that'll do it for us. We'll see you at Oliver Twist coming up here in about an hour. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. You know where to find them both online and on the lot at South Point Volkswagen. Tell you all the time, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. That matters because they have more inventory. And when you have more inventory, you can obviously offer better deals. And when you have more inventory, you're moving more inventory, which means you have a larger certified pre-owned inventory as well. All different makes and models, not just Volkswagen. So check them out at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online. You can always go to the website. You can shop their inventory. You can work out your financing online and then go test drive it. It's South Point Volkswagen. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Kids! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.